this is your quote, they served a function similar to Donald Trump's late-night tweets while in office. They were the direct communication of a leader's thoughts to his devoted followers, enhancing the sanctity of his authority. So, do you see Donald Trump as an authoritarian?
I don't, if you're authoritarian, you have to have a system in supporting you.
Let me begin with a threshold question for you. This election was not stolen. Do you accept that fact? There are not two sides of the story.
If you're authoritarian, you have to have a system in supporting you.
This question about the Wuhan lab, we know that it's been debunked.
Coming up with a conspiracy theory to try and foment xenophobia with respect to the Chinese has just as much factual support as taking Clorox.
There are not two sides of the story.
I am of the point of view that I still think the most likely etiology of this pathogen in Wuhan was from a laboratory, escaped. It's not unusual for respiratory pathogens that are being worked on in a laboratory to infect a laboratory worker.
You cannot just be authoritarian by yourself.
Just to clear it up this morning, can you, naming it, make a declarative statement that that the president denounced?
He was asked to condemn white supremacists. He didn't.
There are not two sides of the story.
Had people, and I'm not talking about the neo-Nazis and the white nationalists, because they should be condemned totally.
But certainly in the United States, with today's condition, you can easily have an authoritarian. In many ways, you're already in the authoritarian state. You just don't know it.
How so?
Many things happens today in US can be compared to cultural revolution in China.
Like what?
Like people trying to be unified in certain political correctness.
But we are concerned about the troubling trend of irresponsible, one-sided news stories plaguing our country.
In many ways, you're already in the authoritarian state. You just don't know it.
Unfortunately, some members of the media use their platforms to push their own personal bias and agenda to control exactly.
There are not two sides of the story.
Oh, sure there are. There are two sides to every story. George, you're forgetting who you are. You're forgetting who you are as a journalist.
This is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
That is very dangerous.